Good morning, welcome back to another video, and today is Wednesday Weekly Gold, episode 41. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so for this week we are going to be doing the breakdown for the Gyroscopic World Spinner. Okay, this is a mount from engineering and the breakdown goes as this. What you're going to need is 12 living steel, 12 trillium bars and 12 spirits of harmony, along with 20 ghost iron bolts. Now the ghost iron bolts are easy to craft, as all you need is ghost iron bars to actually produce these, and this is one of the key elements for the breakdown. Spirits of harmony are to be farmed up, but we'll get back to that in a minute. The trillium bars are crafted through alchemy, or you can obviously farm up the trillium ore, but it's cheaper and more cost effective to actually just do the transmute with the ghost iron bars to produce your trillium bars. The living steel is either on a cooldown or riddle steel, but we'll get back to that in a second. So that being the case, let's get into the actual raw materials. The raw materials for this actual mount is 870 ghost iron bars, which is roughly around about, 1,740 ghost iron ore. Now obviously this is really easy to farm up, and this is easier to farm up than the Sky Golem mount. This mount actually sells for quite a decent chunk of gold, and preferably it's one of my most favourite ones to actually sell because it actually sells relatively fast in the grand scheme of mounts. You are also going to need 12 spirits of harmony, give or take a few if you're wanting to use your riddle steel, but 2 seconds. This will literally be that all you will need for trillium bars is 36 trillium bars and 36 spirits of harmony, plus the 12 that you already have, which is quite a decent amount of spirits of harmony. So I recommend actually just farming up the base raw materials with the ghost iron ore and just plug that out, because ghost iron ore is easier and cheaper to farm than spirits of harmony, as we want to keep our costs relatively down. The upside for riddle steel though is that you can just bash out a load of living steel really fast. But opposed to that, you can do the daily cooldown on your alchemist in order to actually produce your living steel. Now, whichever way you want to go, that's completely up to you. If you can afford to do your riddle steel, then I would suggest doing that because it gets the mount and actually on the auction house. If you have time to spend just having a mass amount of alts, crafting a load of living steel every single day, then I highly recommend doing this. The Gyroscopic World Spinner roughly goes for around about 148,000 gold according to Wowhead, but I know that it roughly averages around about 100,000 gold, give or take a few thousand gold either side. Now obviously some realms it drops actually quite dramatically, and the only thing that you're going to need to do for this crafting this mount is an initial gold investment of 60,000 gold for your mysterious orbs. The mysterious orbs can be found by Big Keech in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms and is a relatively easy thing to obtain. Now I would recommend if you are going to make the Gyroscopic World Spinner that you have a bit of patience when actually selling this mount, depending on your realm of course. So look at your sell rates on your TSM tooltip, as it will tell you how fast it actually sells on your realm, whether or not it's actually worth even crafting, and this will give you a good baseline as well if you want to use your riddle steel, because the more that you can sell, the more profit you will make overall than just doing the living steel transmutes every single day and just bypassing that with your riddle steel. Now obviously riddle steel can be learned as an alchemist through just crafting Pandaren potions that actually unlock different types of recipes. This one is predominantly the one that I use, and this is the healing potion, which relatively gets me all of my recipes that I want for my alchemy when I'm leveling up a new toon for being a new living steel creator every single day. But that being the case, mass production wise, I would recommend that you go with your riddle steel, as it would be a lot easier to do than just doing the daily cooldowns. Other than that, if you wish to do your daily cooldowns, then I suggest that you have an alt army just with you, as you will be able to produce a lot of living steel. Think of it this way: if you actually had 6 alchemists on your account, they don't have to be level 100, they just need to know upwards of the Zen alchemy and be able to create the living steel. Once this happens, you are able to produce 1 gyroscopic world spinner every 2 days, and looking at most of the sell rates for most realms, this will be totally worth it for you. You can also get away with at least around about 3 of these alchemists, as every 4 days it is roughly the time it takes to sell 1 on most realms. Unfortunately, if your realm is one of those ones that doesn't sell the gyroscopic world spinner very easily, then I would suggest that you just stick to crafting a daily cooldown for 12 days and creating your gyroscopic world spinner, and then investing yourself in other different types of farms as you are doing this each and every day for additional gold. Now, obviously crafting mounts is one of my big things, and I really do love crafting mounts because I find this to be the easiest way of making gold, and I personally feel that crafting mounts is a good way of going about it to actually gain a lot of gold relatively quickly in a mid-range of gold invested by time used to increase my profit. So that being the case, guys, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to give this video a like, and as always, have an awesome day, guys.
Yeah.